today I have Esther Olajugba, founder and the CEO of Tokada Food at the Think Big, Go Global podcast. Esther, welcome. It's so great to have you here. And I can't wait to learn everything about your story and your journey. You are a serial entrepreneur. You really mean business. But before we go and talk business, I would like to know a little bit about your childhood, because I heard that you were born in this country, but then at the age of 4, you had to move to Sierra Leone, where your family was coming from. So what happened? Why did you have to move there? And how was that? Do you remember anything from that experience?
Thank you for having me, Mirela. Yes, I remember that experience. So age 4, my father was given a position as a member of parliament. And so he had the big idea to move his family to Sierra Leone, where my mother and father are originally from. So we moved there as a family, and life was great for the first 5 years. We were having a wonderful time. And then the next 5 years, the Civil War broke out. And then it all went downhill from then on. It was a difficult time for us, very traumatic. During that time, Mom and Dad separated, which was even more traumatizing for me as a child, because I just felt I had the perfect family, right? And then this happens. So we lived through that. And my mom had to sell everything she could to send my sister and I back to the UK with one-way tickets. They stay behind. So coming back to the UK.
How old you were at that time?
14 at this time. Coming back to the UK was really, really hard for me. It was a difficult time because I was still a child. My sister was 21. We stayed with my auntie for a short period, and then she asked us to leave. And so we had to live on our own, basically. And
you were a teenager.
Yeah.
Going through your all change and transformation. How did you experience that? How was your English at that time?
We spoke English in Sierra Leone, but I had an accent, so I found it really difficult to fit in. School was a challenge, a huge challenge. Because of the war, there were gaps between my education. You were not always able to go to school. It wasn't safe for you as a girl. And
your parents were still there?
Yes.
And you were missing them?
Yeah, I was missing them a lot.
Were you worried?
Very. At some point, we lost communication. So I took that really badly because I didn't know whether or not I still had parents. So I remember one day coming back from school. In those days, mobile phones were not very popular. So you're always waiting for that phone to ring. And on this fateful day, the phone rang.
What happened?
And it was my mom. And she said, "We're alive." I was so happy. I started screaming. I couldn't wait to tell my sister, "Mom and Dad are alive." Because we didn't know if they were dead or alive.
How long have you been in silent waiting for a news from them?
It felt like forever. I'm sure it was months, but to me it felt like eternity. And so that's, I'm sorry for being emotional right now.
Completely understand.
So that was a moment, that was a turnaround, because now we know we had parents. And so I kept on going to school. And so during that time, my sister and I had to go on benefits. And I remember that experience. I hated it. I just didn't, because it's not like nowadays, if you're on benefits, you get it through the phone, right? You had to queue up at the post office, so everyone knew you were on benefits. And to me, that did something to me. I knew this is not the life I wanted to live. And so I started working really hard. I worked hard. I didn't make the best grades for my GCSEs, but I went back to college, topped up my GCSEs, and got myself to university to study nursing. Because my dad always
And you were on your own?
With my sister.
With your sister?
Yes.
But not with your parents?
No.
So it could go everything wrong?
Yes.
You could cope with many other ways?
Yeah.
Where you could find excuses because I'm on my own, I don't have my parents, I don't know how to do this, I can't cope with this.
Yeah.
But you chose, you are very self-driven,
Yes.
and you chose to cope with hard work.
Yes. And so my dad always emphasized the importance of having an education. When I came back, I had a low self-esteem, and I didn't feel as if I could be a doctor, right? Which is what I really wanted to be. So I thought, go for nursing.
So you were saying that if you had a little bit more confidence, instead of applying for nursing university, you could apply for a doctor, but because you didn't feel good enough, and maybe you didn't feel that you deserve it, you went for the low level.
Yeah.
Which is not low level, by the way.
Yes.
So let's cut that. You went for nursing.
Yes.
You didn't believe that you are capable of studying more.
But all of this that I was doing was because I was craving my father's acceptance. Because remember, he was the one saying, have a good education, right? And so I always knew deep down, I wanted to do business. Before I came, what my mom did, because I saw my mom, she was a businesswoman, and she was the one that was supporting the house while my dad was going after his career. And I saw her go up and down trying to do business, and even she would come to this country. This was when things were good, right? She would come to this country and buy products and take it, and I was just happy to sell. You know, so I knew I loved to sell, and I would sell to my friends at school and everything. I think so. That's where that passion came from, to do business.
So you went to university, you finished.
Yes.
And did you start working as a nurse for a while?
Yeah, I worked.
So how long?
I worked for 2 years.
2 years.
And I said,
only 2 years. Well, what happened? Why did you stop?
I said, this is not for me.
So you studied that hard
to
realize that that was not for you. Okay, what was for you? What was meant for you?
Rewind. I think another reason, so you're going into this and you know, actually, this is my passion. I want to do business, right? And I tell you where that stemmed from. So I remember having a conversation with my father. So I finished my nursing in 2008, and I called my dad. By this time, my mom was here in the UK. And I said, Dad, I finished my nursing. I'm now a nurse and everything. And then he said to me, do business. I was confused. I was really, really confused. Yeah. You mean I've been to university, right? You told me this is what you wanted me to do. And now you're saying do business. I was confused. I felt let down. But then I just put it to one side. Little did I know he will pass away a few weeks after that. So that never leaves you.
So that voice stayed in your mind, do business, do business.
Yes.
Even when he passed away, you kept thinking that was a message.
Yes. So you never take words like that lightly. So I thought, okay, I finished. Let me take this experience. Let me go and get this experience. So I started working. And you never feel fulfilled if you're not doing what you're called to do. So even though I was working, there was always somebody there. It's like they're there just to get on your nerves for you to go and pursue your purpose.
To remind you that you should not be here.
You're not meant to be here. So they would tell me you need to do these hours, and you start at 7. You don't finish till about 9, 10 because I was working in dialysis. And I didn't see my children. And I thought, this is not the life I want. But I knew that life required a sacrifice. So I went back to university to study business.
Wow.
Yeah. And so my colleagues said, you're crazy and all of that. They were telling me all sorts of things. Don't lose your PIN number. You might need it. I said, you know what? I want to come back and employ all of you guys. I said, I want to be sleeping, and my sleep is making money. That's what I want to do.
So I have a question for you, Esther. Why did you think that you need a business degree in order for you to transition to business?
I just felt that's what I needed to do. I felt I needed to have some...
A validation?
Yes, exactly. Like I said, when you have low self-confidence, you're just looking for ways, looking for excuses. I don't know what it is, but you're looking for something
to prove that you're worthy.
Yes, exactly. And you may feel, oh, I need to go to university to study this course and study that course before I start this business, right?
Absolutely.
And so that's what I did. But then whilst I was studying,
you didn't wait.
No,
I guess
we started the business. So my husband and I looked at different businesses, and we thought, okay, should we get a franchise? What should we do? We looked at different things, and we thought, actually, I'm a nurse, you're a doctor, because he's a surgeon. Let's look at what we can do. So we went into occupational health, and very quickly we realized, no, that's not the road we want to go down. But that's because somebody called us and they were looking for nurses. And I thought, I'm a nurse. They're looking for nurses. And we very quickly pivoted. And we started going down that road. And
so you realized that you studied nursing.
Yes.
You went to try. It
Yes.
was not for you.
Yes.
But then there is a gap in the market.
Absolutely.
There is a need for nurses.
Yes.
And maybe there are many other Esthers out there
Yes.
who do not want to work a nurse, but there are some others
Yes.
who want to
Yes.
be and fulfilling that dream, because it's all about finding your dream.
It is.
And that's incredible. So you started that business together with your husband.
Yes.
So how long have you been doing that business together?
That was 15 years ago. And those days, there was nothing like social media. So it was me literally getting into the car, knocking at doors. You start off with care homes, because to get onto NHS frameworks, it really takes a while. So there are a lot of boxes that you need to tick. They will say you need to have experience and all of that. And it's like a catch-2 situation.
Yeah.
You need to do this before you can do this. And so for a while, we were in a situation where we could not get into the NHS. But eventually we got there, because that was the dream.
Wow, yes, that was the dream. And you know what? The dream of the dreamers come true only when you believe in them and you commit to follow your dream. Now, from one dream, you have moved to many dreams, because here we are, and you have just launched a new business, Tokada Foods. What is this?
So Tokada Foods started in 2008, when my father passed away, when I went to Sierra Leone to bury him. I wasn't in my right mind. I was heavily pregnant at the time, so I could not wait to leave Sierra Leone. And I remember being on the flight thinking, I never want to go back to that country again. It's too painful for me. I've gone through the war, and now this, I've lost that. I don't want to go back.
Yeah, you had the memories.
Yes. So that was the decision I made at the time. Fast forward 10 years later, 2018, for some reason, I decided I want to go back to Sierra Leone. So it's only when I was on the plane that I realized, actually, I'm not even sure of how to get from the airport to the capital city. So the lady that was sitting next to me, I said to her, I haven't been to Sierra Leone in 10 years. Oh, she said, don't worry. The lady was from Jamaica, and we're still friends to this day. She said, I will take you because I've been going to your country. I love your country. And there I was sitting thinking, she's a foreigner. She's taking me into my country. It was funny. But anyway, I went in. I felt really, really safe. But for the first time, I noticed the level of poverty in the country. I saw people begging, amputees from the war. There were so many of them. And it was there that I decided, what can I do to make a difference? Standing in the streets of Freetown, which is the capital city, I was asking myself the question, because it's always about what can the government do? But this time I was asking, what can Esther do?
Yeah.
And so I came back with fire in my belly, and I was looking to see maybe if they learn skills, if the women learn skills, if the youth learn skills. I said, well, how can I do this? And I thought to myself, if you send them to different countries to go and learn how to do different and obtain different skills, they would never come back, because they wouldn't see the bigger picture. So I started going around learning how to do different things, obtain different skills. And one of the things that I learned how to make was chocolate. So I went on this chocolate course, in York. It was in York. It was a 2-day course. And on the first day, we started making chocolate, and I just fell in love, because one of the things, Mirela, about me, I love food. I absolutely love
I know the
good
feeling.
food.
We share a very common passion for that.
Yeah. So on this day, she was talking to me about the Gola rainforest, and I could not wait. She said, do you know about the Gola rainforest in Sierra Leone? And I thought, I've never even heard about this. So I could not wait to get back to my hotel room to go on the internet and see what she's talking about. So little did I know, the Gola rainforest is not far from my father's village,
Wow.
a village we used to go to as children.
That's powerful.
Kicking and screaming at Christmas time.
Wow.
Because we wanted to stay in the city with our cousins. And also the Gola rainforest is where the war started.
Wow.
So for 10 years, that place was deserted and left to flourish, because before then, human beings were destroying the forest. So it became a national park after the war. And the cocoa beans from there just flourished.
Wow, what
and
a
was sustainable.
cycle. Yeah,
Yes.
it's incredible.
Yes.
The journey that you have been going through to
Yes.
come to realize that this is where your purpose is bringing you back to the path.
Yes, yes.
And it's kind of like finding a beautiful reason to go back home.
Yes.
So what is this now? What have you discovered in this journey?
I've discovered that I can use food to get these women out of poverty. So the thing about the women started, like I said, on that journey, right, in Sierra Leone. And I realized that women in particular are not given many opportunities. So they have less opportunity to obtain land, to have access to resources, or to do the things that they need to do to alleviate poverty. It's not there. So I'm all about how to create opportunities for these women. And Tokada Foods is about creating those opportunities for the women to flourish in the global south. And by the global south, I mean developing countries.
Yeah, and it's not just about the mission that you feel you want to help and support women there, but also to provide this opportunity to people that they can see the benefit. It's like everybody wins.
Yes.
You definitely have found something of big purpose here. So where do you see, what is your vision with this new venture?
My vision is to help as many women from all around the global south create as many opportunities for them, and also at the same time, like you said, create that win-win situation, right, where consumers benefit because of this plant-based, these nourishing superfoods that these women produce and grow in developing countries, and bringing them to developed countries. And also for businesses that want to buy these sustainable plant-based products, to bring the two together and create that situation where everyone prospers.
Absolutely. I can already imagine that. I am taking myself into that vision that you have created for you and for all these amazing women, and to bring such positive impact to the world.
Yes.
So Esther, thank you so much for sharing all these incredible stories with us, because they are very inspirational, and I can tell you are here for a reason. I'm really grateful for you coming and being here with me and bringing this beautiful aura and vibration for something powerful that is coming.
Thank you, Mirela.
Thank you
for
so
having
much,
me.
and please keep us posted.
Will do.
And I would love to learn the chocolates and moringas and everything beautiful that you're creating.
Thank you.